This is just a quick little video from Blue Collar Bobbers to show you how we did our rat bike here. This rat bike theme is real popular with cars and motorcycles right now. So what you're trying to do is get it kind of just an old, worn, beat up look. So we'll show you how we did it. First of all, let me go to the tank here. Okay, what I do first is I go ahead and scuff the tank and the fenders and everything so that the paint will stick. Whenever you paint something, you want to scuff it first with some fairly fine paper so that the paint will adhere to it. And then I go ahead and spray the whole thing, maybe 2 or 3 coats, with just regular Rust-Oleum red oxide primer. The reason I use red oxide primer is because they used to use that in the old days, and when you wear through it, I'd like to have the red oxide finish underneath. You can use gray or whatever, but in the old days they used the red oxide a lot, so we're kind of going for the old look. So anyway, go ahead and spray your pieces, your fender and tank and stuff with the 2 or 3 coats of the red oxide primer. And then if you go ahead and just right behind it, don't let it dry too long. Go ahead and spray on your base coat, whatever you choose. Now on this bike I use the Rust-Oleum. Sounds like a commercial, doesn't it? Rust-Oleum. This is just their metallic silver. So I went ahead and I sprayed a couple of coats of metallic silver. You don't need to get too carried away with the paint because you want to wear through it later anyway. So go ahead and spray your base coat, whatever you choose. And then what you want to do is you want to wait and let it go ahead and dry for a couple of days. Or at least a day, because when you start maxing you don't want to pull the paint off. So let that dry good. And then the next step is, we'll grab the tape here. I like to use the 3M fine line masking tape. A lot of people don't know about this. It's real rubbery and it stretches a lot, and you can go around corners and stuff. And it's a 3M fine line masking tape. I think their designation on it is, let's see, this bigger roll will tell us, 471. Comes in different widths. And what that does, it leaves a nice sharp crisp line, and not like regular masking tape where the paint bleeds under it. So you'll love that stuff. So anyway, what I did is I went ahead and masked off the blue. You'll see this 1/8 inch blue stripe here. And then right about, I'd say a 1/4 inch above it, I went ahead and put another line of the 3M tape. And then to keep the paint from overspraying, you go ahead and just stick some regular masking tape to a piece of newspaper, and then follow your 3M tape with that. That way, when you spray the color here, it won't go around on your base coat. So go ahead and mask that off. Oh, and then what I did is we used our Blue Collar Bobber stickers on the tank. But excuse me, I'm a little out of sequence, so don't worry about that right now. But anyway, once you get this all maxed off, then go ahead and scuff the paint a little bit. And then spray your second color, which I did the blue. And then once that dries a little bit, you don't need to get carried away because you're going to sand through these things a little bit anyway. So just put the next color on, and then when that dries a little bit, you can pull your tape off. And then go ahead and pull your fine line tape off. And then it wouldn't hurt to let that dry for a bit, maybe a day or so. And then what I did next, here's the stickers. You can use any kind of a stick-on decal or whatever. I just applied these decals to the side of the tank there, over the top of the blue. And then your next step would be to go ahead and let that dry. I let it dry for like 3 or 4 days, because you don't want to start sanding this stuff too soon, or it'll gum up on you. Okay, the next step is to get some, make sure you use a wet or dry sandpaper. This is a 180 grit. Make sure you use wet or dry, because you want to wet this when you start sanding. Then basically what you do, you just sand the bike, and you kind of try to give it a worn look like this. You can sand through the silver, get down to the primer. You can sand your decals. Go ahead and scuff it up good. You can kind of give it the appearance you want. And then after that, what I did, I went ahead and used this Rust-Oleum, another commercial. I just got a can of the black. You can get a smaller can. I got a can of the black. Make sure it's oil base. And then I just rubbed it all over the whole thing. And then you kind of carefully wipe it off. What that does is it kind of just gives it kind of an older look. If you don't use a paint over the top, it kind of looks too new. So I just kind of rubbed the black on and kind of rubbed it off. That's why you want to let your base coats dry real well too before you put the black on. So went in and rubbed the black on, and then the last step is to go ahead and scuff that before you put your clear coat. Scuff it off a little bit, and then last thing I want to do is I use the matte clear finish. There again, it's Rust-Oleum matte clear. That's kind of a semi-flat finish. And I went in and just sprayed 2 or 3 pretty heavy coats on there to protect the finish when I got done. So there you have it. It looks pretty sharp. Everybody that comes in our shop just loves this bike. So I'll just go ahead and pan around it so you can see it. Oh, and then what I did is I took our seat and I actually took some sandpaper and I sanded in between the ribs down into the kind of the leather just to give it a kind of a worn look. You can see that. Did the same thing on the fenders. This is our little Rebel. So you can kind of check us out on the website there. And there you have it. Oh, I'll just pan around this bike real quick. Little sales gimmick here, but this is our Rebel, or our Cadillac lights we have on this bike. So anyway, there you have it. I'll back off here so you can take a look. There you have it, an instant little rat bike. Thanks a lot and ride safely.